Well, let's give it up again for my sister. I just want to take a breath here in this pulpit, just for a moment, if you would indulge me. Just let me breathe in. The greats. I'm behind the pulpit of the greats. Wow! That's like I made it to the top. That's the best of life. Don't you think so? Yes. Wow! This is like a dream come true. I remember walking down this aisle with my blue practitioner robe, and then eventually walking down this aisle in my white ministerial robe, and Dr. Dan Morgan passing the torch to me on this very platform. I'm so honored, and thank you so much, and my greatest gratitude to Dr. Arthur for allowing me to step into this greatness, this well of love and principle, and thank you, Uncle Ernie. Thank you. I love it. So how's everybody doing this morning? I can't stay back there. I mean, it's a great place to visit, but now I want to come out here where I can see everybody and just talk about what's the best life that we could possibly live. Is that best life something we got to go out and get? Or is that best life really within our very own being? So today I want to ask you to take off your robes of fear, and I want you to take off your masks that you wear every day, you know, the different roles that you play, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, sister, brother, lover. I want you to take all of that off, and I want you to get spiritually naked. Only Reverend Hilde could get up here and say that. Because I want you to see that you are already the best of life. I want you to see that there's nothing you need to go out there and get. That you already have everything within you that you need to be the best that you can be. Because that's all you need to do, is to be. Well, that's easier said than done, isn't it? Because we're so busy doing and thinking we have these roles to play. But from a spiritual perspective, we are to just be. And so people say, well, what does that mean? I don't really know. I don't really know how to be. That's a good question, isn't it? It's something for you to contemplate. What does it really mean to be? To really be in the knowingness that you are made in the image and likeness and out of the nature of God. You know, we were talking as we were driving up here from the Antelope Valley, and we were saying that when everything is stripped away, and there's simply the life of God revealing itself, there's nothing else. There's just the life of God in all of its magnificence, in all of its glory, in all of its perfection. And that is you. You're made in the nature of God. What is your understanding of that nature? Well, there's nothing that God can't do, because God is all things. And so you have this magnificent opportunity to step fully into the life of God that you are. So those things, those dreams and those desires, those things that we call the best in life, those are your ticket home. Those are the things that Mary Manon Morrissey alludes to when she says, you need to write a check that the universe can cash. And how how many of us sit on that fence and say, well, I'm not sure. I want to do this, but if I do this, then I don't know, and I'm not really sure. And we go back and we go forth and we go around in a circle and we do a little dance, make a little love, and we still haven't written a check to the universe that the universe can cash. Pick one thing. Just pick one thing. One quality of God that you would like to embody. One quality. Those things that you dream about, that you wish for. Those things that you never did because you were too busy raising a family or you had to go to work to pay the rent. Find that dream. And then tell yourself you can have it. Now, I know that I will never be Juliet Krause. I'm past the point. I love to dance, but Juliet Krause I will never be. Y'all know who that is? Yeah. But I have other dreams. And I'm writing this check to the universe that says I can have that dream, but I have to be specific. Because there's a law of mind at work here, and that's how God works through us. You know, we don't really do anything. We just open up the channels for the energy to flow through us, for God to reveal His goodness. But God is the one that places the desire within you. But we get so busy going, how am I going to do that? Well, I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. Well, I don't have the manufacturing company. And the building is going to cost this much. And we get all tied up in because the ego gets so busy and so distracting that it takes us away from the principle that your good is at hand. Right? Your good is at hand. There is nothing that you cannot have. There is nothing that you cannot do. You simply have to be. Well, that's a surrender. Oh, that's a bad word. Did you know surrender is a bad word? Because when we hear that word surrender, we think, okay, I got to get down on my knees now. I have to surrender. That's not what that means. That means that you're simply willing to open up to this divine life that is just waiting for you to say yes. That is the sleeping giant that Ernest Holmes talked about in the reading today. You know, you have that picture of that big giant, you know, from Jack and the Beanstalk. You have that picture of that big dude. He was really big. That's God. And when that giant wakes up, what happens? Feed, fight, That's God. That is the sleeping giant within you, that when it awakes, it is a thundering of the power and the presence of God. Can you trust that? Because where does that fear come from that we live with? This fear thing that keeps us bound and tied up and constricted and restricted. Because we're afraid that God's not really going to do anything, aren't we? We don't really trust that God is going to come through for us, do we? Why, some of us, I would venture to say, are even afraid to pray because we think God's not listening. Am I right? Who's going to cop to it? Yeah, okay. But to step past that fear into this thing that we call faith is to trust that everything works together for your good. That your dreams are your good. That your desires are your good. That you can have it if you just get up off of the pity pot and stop blaspheming God. Because when you say, I can't, you're already saying, God can't do it. You're already saying that. You're already saying that. To have best life is a sweet surrender to that glorious thing that we call the universe, the presence, the living Almighty, the divine intelligence, the pure wisdom. If that energetic knew enough to create a complex thing like your human body, how much more can it do for you? It breathes you. You're not even breathing yourself in this moment. It is God that is breathing you, that is living its life in, through, and as your being. God is within you. It is not out there somewhere for you to run and go and get and do all this work and, okay, I'm going to get God. I just got to heal this admonition. I got to heal this thing and that thing. Yeah, there's healing involved, because what is the healing? The healing is the revealing. So we're always looking to see, where is God revealing itself in your life? I know that I've gone through a stage now where I have discovered in my own self the place where I really didn't trust. That's why I can talk about it today. And how I operate from that place without even knowing it. How I respond and how I react from that place that doesn't trust. And it is in that realization that the healing has occurred. Because now I can walk in pure confidence and trust in that power that has the power to move mountains. But you must be proactive. You must take the time. You must take the time. What is that? Is that me hitting this, or what is this? Okay, can you turn this mic off, please? You must be proactive. You must take the step and trust and make a covenant for your good. Make a covenant for your good. Emma Curtis Hopkins says, I covenant with the Holy Spirit for my good. Now, is that being selfish? Is wanting to be rich and have all the greatness of life and all the good things in life? Is that, like, some people think that that's unholy and that it's selfish. But I'm here to tell you today that if you don't have that, then you don't have the space to be really creative and to give back the gift that you've been given to express on this plane of existence. There's nothing selfish about it. It's actually the most unselfish thing you could do. The selfish thing that you do is to hold yourself in limitation. That's the selfish part. To hold yourself in bondage and say, well, I don't have any money. I can't do that. I can't go there because I don't have a car. I don't have a job. Nobody wants to hire me. Your words have power. And that message that I just put out there, the universe hears that. And it goes, okay, you're broke. Okay, you don't have a car. Okay, you don't have a job. Can't get one. Okay, we'll just make it happen. Because there is a law at work. Reverend Michael Beckwith says this. Are you ready? When you can believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, what you do see you won't see, and what you don't see you will see. When you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see. When you trust in the invisible more than relying on the world of effect, knowing that those effects are ever changing, they don't stay the same. I venture to say that most of you are not living in the same house you grew up in. So things change, the effects change. It's trusting more in what you don't see than what you do see. Because the things that you do see now, they fall away. and the things that you don't see, when you stand in faith believing, are the things you will see. Yes? Yes. This is living the best life. This is standing in the power and presence of God. This is your time to awaken the sleeping giant within you, asking it to rise on up. And as it says in the Bible, prove me now herewith. Now you remember Jesus, he didn't say, hey bro, you think we can get some food for these folks? He didn't say, Lazarus dude, try and pick up that bed and walk, man. No. Jesus said, here's the loaves and fishes. In consciousness, we're multiplying stuff. And thank you, God. Pick up your bed and walk, Lazarus. And I'm grateful to the Father. So part of living the best life, this is a very important key, is gratitude. I gotta tell you, when I'm driving, people that know me know that's my being of existence, but when I'm driving, what I notice, now I want you to understand, I don't do this looking for the gratitude. But you know how you let people in? How many people actually give you the wave of gratitude? How many? Not many. So you see that our society is lacking in gratitude. And gratitude is really the equivalent of saying, yes, I accept. Yes, I accept. That's why it's a spiritual technique. It's utilizing the law for good. Yes, I accept this and greater. Thank you for what I already have. Thank you for my life, just the way it is. Thank you for my health, the way it is right now. Because there's an opening and an accepting. And when you open and accept it, you open the space for bigger and better and more. And you are worthy of more. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Yes? Yes. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Be the prodigal sons and daughters. Today can be the first day of the rest of your life that's lived in good, that is the best life. You can come on home and join the party and know that everything that the Father has is yours already. That you can wear the finest robes. And you can get the ring, and you can get the fatted calf. In other words, you can have a good dinner. Because it's already provided. That you can have the best of everything. Because that's what God planned for. That's what God prepared your heart, your soul. Look, you don't come here to remain the same. Not one of you has entered into this sanctuary, this sacred space, to stay the same. You came here because there was a soul call within you that is nudging you, pulling your coattails and such, that is telling you, you deserve the best in life. And this is the center that tells you that. It's up to you to grab the belief by the horns and ride it. Get that? Grab the horns of belief and ride that. Don't stay in the world of effect. Listen, all this stuff about our economy and we're going into a recession is just a big old hoopla load of what? Where did all the money go? Where did all the gas go? Come on. Don't be fooled by this. Stand in the principle and the truth that this is an abundant and a prosperous world. that your needs are always met, that you are sourced by the divine. Always. Don't get tripped up in the effect of what people are trying to convince you of. You have to be the place in the space that says, no! Tain't so. Who was the practitioner that said that? Who said tain't so? What was her name? Huh? Yeah, Sojourner did too, but there was a practitioner, really a well-known practitioner in our movement that used to say. It might have been Ventura Packy. It says, tain't